Hello out there! It's the Rat Man from the poor side of town. Live right now. And, real quick, I just want to say thank you to everybody who listens. I know it's just me and this small broadcast, but I'm glad you listen. I'm listened to by a few people, at least. You guys rock. And you girls rock. Alright, so first, and I know this isn't breaking news, but, you know, it's got to be said. It's already being said by 100 other people. I might as well just say it. Jodi Arias, who was tried for the death of her husband, who was stabbed 29 times, she was found guilty of first-degree murder. Yay! Now, why am I cheering that? Okay? I know you're saying, you know, oh my God, why are you cheering a woman found guilty of first-degree murder? First of all, you know, the prosecutor, apparently, you know, he proved without a doubt that this woman stabbed her husband 29 times. And it's not like the defense were fighting that so much as they were trying to say, oh my God, this poor victim, this poor baby, she was domestically abused. Same excuse that they use to justify any woman murdering a man when they're in a relationship. Okay? Not saying I'm not saying that domestic violence does not happen. I am just saying that the woman stabbed the guy 29 freaking times. All right? All right. So so she was found guilty of first-degree murder, and that can carry up to the death penalty. How long she's going to remain in prison while she's executed, if she gets a death penalty, who knows? Who knows? She can also receive life in prison, which is also another choice for the judge. And we'll have to see. We'll just have to see what happens with this lady. To stretch the word, you know. I mean, because I'm sorry, and there's a lot of women who, well, not a lot, but quite a few feminists who say, you know, when a woman murders a man, it's justified, you know, if there's domestic violence. But you know what? Be it against a man or against a woman, domestic violence does not give you the right to kill someone unless your life is mortally in danger. And this woman didn't prove her life was mortally in danger. So she is going to be sentenced to death. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not fair. She might be sentenced to death. She might be sentenced to life in prison. And she wouldn't get paroled for the next 25 years. So, until 2038. So we'll see. By then I should be 67, I think, when that happens. So we'll see. Nothing better than breakfast coffee. In other news, Rush Limbaugh. I don't mean to copy Keith Olbermann, with his flair of saying it, but Rush only takes Limbaugh is losing. He might be losing Cumulus, the company that broadcasts his radio station throughout lots of markets around the U.S. and the world, I think. Either around the U.S. or the world, I'm not sure. But might be losing that particular company and that particular amount of distribution. When pressed for comments, this is what Limbaugh had to say.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no.
If I wanted to dial Rush Limbaugh, I could imagine it just being like this. Hello, Rush. How you doing? I'm so sorry that you're losing your stations left and right. Oh boy, pretty soon, whenever one of these lunatic teabagging people go to tune in, in their old friggin' 1950s radio sets to tune in for Rush Limbaugh, this is what they're gonna hear. And they're gonna try and find them, and they're gonna try and find them. Then they're not gonna find them. You don't get me wrong. You have the right to free speech. Okay, Rush Limbaugh has the right to free speech, but when he used his free speech to hurt somebody else on purpose, just because. Sandra Fluke was the flavor of the day to his audience. To his audience of like 70 to in the grave. And he wanted to demonize this woman because how dare she want to have protection included? How dare she want to stop the spread of disease, of sexually transmitted diseases? By asking, to have protection as part of healthcare, preventative care. How dare she? So Rush tried to demonize her. He called her a slut, and said she was like asking the government to pay her for sex. Totally false. But, in the world of Rush Limbaugh, false is just, it's just a word. Nothing. Who cares? It's just a word. Whatever. So, excuse me. So, he might be losing a bunch of stations, which, to quote Keith Olbermann, happy days are here again. So, that's it for Rush. In other news, seems like Glenn Beck is going further and further off the deep end, and making further conspiracies. And actually, you know, the wackos on the right are listening to him further because they want to try to impeach Obama, try to blow this Benghazi thing to be bigger than Watergate. One of the things they said, and I'm sorry I don't have the quote here, but one of the things they said is that at least people in Watergate did not die. At least nobody died. 4 people died in Benghazi. So, you know, they're trying to blow this Benghazi thing. I mean, you know, which is, it's not strange, you know. They with all the things they tried to do in the first 4 years of Obama's administration, you know, it's no surprise that they're trying to use Benghazi. I think they already tried to impeach Obama on his first term. Now they're trying to impeach him on his second term, just like they tried to impeach Clinton. They're trying to impeach him on the whole Benghazi thing, you know. When they try to blow the whole gun thing out of proportion, not the gun control, but the Fast and Furious thing out of proportion, you know, they tried, but they failed. And so they're trying to do the same thing with Benghazi, you know. Everybody from Mike Huckabee to Rush Limbaugh to Fox News, you know, and, you know, one of the first people who said that they might try to use it to impeach him was Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks, and he was right. They're trying to use that to impeach him. You know, it's funny how when we try to impeach Bush for real crimes like taking the country illegally to war, on lies of weapons of mass destruction, you know what?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
I dare you, Mike Huckabee. I dare you, Rush Limbaugh. I dare you, Glenn Beck. I dare you, Fox News. I dare you, who else? Like Mike Levin. I dare you, Matt Bett. I dare you, Ann Coulter. I dare all of these right-wing, tea-banging morons to prove there were weapons of mass destruction and that the war was justified. Talk about 4 people dying in Benghazi. How about over 4,000 troops dying when they didn't have to die in Iraq and Afghanistan, huh? How about that, Rush? How about that, Levin? How about that, Hannity? Fox News, who led the war on for 8 freaking years. And it became 10 freaking years because by then we were so far in deep we couldn't pull out without leaving a huge mess. It took Obama having to clean up, you know, the whole friggin' Iraq war mess that you Republicans, and I know that Democrats also voted for this war. Of course, Democrats, along with plenty of Republicans who didn't want to go into this war, were lied to by people like Condoleezza Rice, by people like, Colin Powell, by Dick the war criminal Cheney. And you want to talk about impeaching Obama? How about jailing Bush? You know what? Yes, fine. I'll let you impeach Obama the day you throw Bush, Cheney, Condoleezza, Ashcroft, everybody that was involved in that freaking mess of Iraq, the day you throw them in the gulag in Guantanamo, then that's the day I say, go ahead and impeach Obama. But you know what's going to happen if you impeach Obama? You know what you're going to get? You're going to get Biden. And granted, Biden is an old man, but he'll mop the freaking floor with you. You don't F with Biden, okay? You don't F with Joe effing Biden. We'll see. We'll see how good it goes if you're successful in impeaching Obama and you get Joe Biden. We'll see how far you get when Joe Biden gets the reins of power. Okay? All right. You know, this really actually pisses me off so bad because it's like, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you told us to sit down and, you know, like, I remember, I mean, you know, and I know I said this before and I'll say it again and I'll say it as many times as I freaking can. When we opposed the Iraq War, when we opposed all the things that George Bush did, what happened to us? Liberals, we were called traitors. We were told you need to be jailed and sent to Guantanamo or sent to a gulag in Russia because you're traitors. How dare you question the president? How dare you be unpatriotic? How dare you not fall in line? But these teabagging idiots get to question everything. And don't get me wrong, like I said 1,000 times on this program, question is a good thing. But you know what? Also, question with reason. Okay? Question with logic. If Obama does something that I know is unlawful, like NDAA, or, you know, supports in any way CISPA, or supports in any way anything to take away real rights, I'll be the first one to put them in the frickin' fire. But that does not mean that I, you know, want him impeached over Benghazi. When George Bush gets his own freaking library. His own library. How dare you, idiots? How dare you? You want Obama? You know what? I'm going to say it because I know nobody else is going to say it. These people would rather see Obama in the fields picking cotton, or worse, along with all the minorities, because these people, and I'm going to say this, and this probably might get me kicked out of Spreaker. Might. But who knows? Who knows? But these people want to roll us back to pre-Lincoln America, when people were slaves and the white man ruled. That's where they would want us to go. Why? Because that's who these people are. These people are regretful. These are the hundreds plus years that the South has been regretful for losing the Civil War. These are stirred up emotions that are still boiling in the South. These are the Confederates. All of these Tea Party people that you hear out there asking for this president to be impeached, to be jailed, to be God knows what. This is those boiling underneath feelings of the South because they lost the Civil War. And they didn't get to enslave people anymore. They didn't get to um, horribly, violently murder black people anymore. That's why. That's why. Plain and simple. If you're wondering why is it that Republicans, well, not all Republicans feel like this. Don't get me wrong. Not all Republicans feel like this. A lot of them are moderate, people who just want to see the country go forward. And that includes a lot of Americans who want to see the country go forward. But there's a certain bunch of people who just want to see this president impeached, jailed, worse, only because he's black. Only because he's black, and they're resentful, and they're hateful, and they're dredging up tons upon tons of hate feelings from, Confederate South. That's why they behave the way they do. And if you think that even if and after, if nothing comes out of Benghazi that's hurtful against the president, they're going to find something else. They're going to make this guy's life a living hell until 2016. And in fact, they're preempting. They're trying to make Hillary's life hell now because they're so afraid of her running. Now, I don't know how Hillary would be as president. I would hope she'd be better, but then again, who knows? She just looks like another moderate. But who knows? I may be wrong. She might be, similar in many ways to her husband. And she might take some advice from her husband, which would be good because Clinton is the last president who, like him or not, he's the one that helped bring us the biggest prosperity we had seen ever since before the mid-70s. So who knows? Who knows? What else? Well, there's a couple of other things. Speaking of the president, there's this company that's been selling, I guess it's soft foam or some kind of foam, like, targets that are zombies that actually bleed when you shoot them. And one of those targets was looked like President Obama. And another target I think looked like I think it was called that your ex-girlfriend or so your soon-to-be ex-girlfriend, something like that. All kinds of disgusting crap. For the sophisticated tea-banging moron with a weapon. Yeah. What else? On the news. Oh, of course, let's not forget the 3 women that were rescued by that brave man. And one of the good things, because it was found out that that these 3 brothers, that the one that kidnapped those girls and the other brothers that supposedly were involved, it was found that all 3 of them went from Puerto Rico, which kind of, it really embarrasses me because it's I'm from Puerto Rico myself, and it's just, that's what we need, another and don't get me wrong, I'm not like dismissing all this crap these girls went through, or I'm not saying anything else. It's just it's a Latino in this country, and as a Puerto Rican, Um, it just um, um, it saddens me that we could have people like this from Puerto Rico. Um, it just it bothers me to no end, you know. And I hope this guy gets, the full brunt of the law. Well, one of the things that I'm happy about, at least, is that uh, I think it's like one of the policemen that was doing a press conference um, yesterday. He said something that actually made me kind of smile. That he said, well, this shouldn't be because these three men were from Puerto Rico. They shouldn't be like um, uh, you know. Basically, he said that this shouldn't mean that you demonize all Puerto Ricans because um, all of us are not like these men, or at least like this man. So I'm glad that at least that came out. That's one of the awesome things that came out of this. Because it's just we don't need any further demonization. And speaking of demonization, I'm just waiting for Fox News to demonize these men and demonize all Puerto Ricans, like they almost always demonize all kinds of races and stuff, like they always do, because that's how they roll. That's who they are. So I'm just waiting for this to happen. Hopefully and fortunately it won't happen, but it's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before these people start doing that. I hope not, though, because first of all, I'm hopeful that these women will be fine and everything, and they can get over that, and they don't hold it against all Puerto Ricans because they got kidnapped by these two men. That it was just individually these two. This man Castro. His name is his last name is Castro. And well. And that's about it. It's pretty sure there's more news about I'm missing, but we'll see. Who knows? It seems like every day there's new news of whatever kind. So it's just a matter of time. On quick, one of the things I probably haven't talked about, all the news here and there. They were trying to have, I think it was like, I don't know if it was Jimmy, who was it? I know that Jay Leno is ending his stint in the Tonight Show. That's one of the things. Probably not, it's probably not as important as everything else. It's just something I think I thought I should throw out there. So this has been the Rad Man. Again, thank you guys for listening to me. And hopefully, Spreaker won't have it against me. I haven't had my say with whole thing, the whole huge rant I had, but we'll see.